You're listening to the All Burgundy and Gold Everything Commanders post game show, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, in a heartbreaker. The Commanders failed to the Eagles, 34-31 in OT. Real quick, let's get into the particulars before we talk about this game. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything and hit us up on IG at ABG_everything and like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. Hey, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel as well. I mentioned, Glenn, the Commanders, they fell to the Eagles, a tough game, man. First off, your thoughts on the game, my man?
Good game, good bounce back game for the Commanders. Didn't get the W, but I thought all in all, it was a good bounce back game for this team who didn't score last week, who put up 31 points this week. And who was willing to drive down the field with 143 when the Eagles gave you a gift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
AJ Brown gave you a gift.
AJ Brown gave you a gift, yeah.
Almost cost his team, right? He gave you a gift. But all in all, I thought this team fought. Did some things in the secondary. Picking on a young guy, I got to find a way to give him some help.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's not in position.
Yeah.
Guys are making plays.
Yeah. This game was hard. It was hard, man. Like the team had a lead going into the half. It was 17-13 going into the half. So they were playing, was it 17-10 or 17-13? 17-10, right? 17-10, right? Sorry. Actually, let me make sure. 17-10, 17-13. 17-10. Yeah, 17-10. Thank you. Sorry. So it was 17-10 going into the second half, and they had all the momentum. Sam Howell was playing well. Eric Bieniemy had a great game plan. They ran the ball, it was great balance. My issue going in for that game has just been, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the defense. I don't like the scheme. I just don't. I just feel like you're playing so passive and you're going to give up big plays, right? So we said this on pregame that Jalen Hurts, what he does well is he gets the big play, right? The bombs, the big explosive plays. The intermediate routes, you really don't have to really worry about him picking you apart. It's those big explosive plays. And he was getting those big explosive plays and they didn't limit it. And I would get it if you were playing good in the back, you were playing good coverage. In terms of if you're going to not bring pressure, but you didn't mix anything up. They were getting the big plays when you're in coverage, and you did, and so it's not as if you blitzed and you gave up big plays. You gave up big plays in coverage, but I mean, I'm like you. I think that it was a good bounce back game compared to what we saw in Buffalo. So I do think that the team, the players, the coaching staff deserve credit, but it's I don't like giving,
more victories.
more victories. You know what I'm saying? Like I like, you get that W. I'm gonna give credit in terms of moral victories. I will give credit to Sam Howell because I feel like having that type of game in Buffalo and to bounce back, like you deserve your flowers on that. Like, it's a team game, and I'm sure if you ask Sam Howell in the locker room, he would be like, we didn't do enough to win the game. We had the ball in overtime. We had the ball first. We didn't make a play. You know what I'm saying? Like I had Terry on that play in overtime. Maybe if I, gave him an opportunity, more room, he would be able to drag that second foot in, or made it obvious that he had that second foot in. But it was a perfect pass. I mean, dude is clutch. Like I'm gonna give Sam Howell his flowers. Dude was clutch. But in terms of my overall thought in the game, I thought the EB showed you what his value is. They scored 31 points in regulation. Again, some people were saying, I saw people on social media saying, what's the difference between Eric Bieniemy and a Scott Turner? Well, I'll tell you this: in out of the 4 games, you've already scored 30 points with the Eric Bieniemy offense. You know what I mean? Like you weren't doing that with Scott Turner on this rate. So I will say that you do see a difference with EB as the coordinator, and you do see the maturation process with Sam Howell. He's growing. He's becoming a guy that you have faith in. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching it on TV, and I'm sitting there like, Sam, this is what you do. This is what you do. Like I saw it against Denver. Buffalo, the game was out of reach, but like in big drives, you usually come up and ball. Real talk. And even the last play the last drive of OT, that throw was an amazing throw. You know what I mean? Like if Terry could just get it's not blame on Terry. It's a great effort play by Terry too. If that play goes in, if he catches that pass, if that pass is completed, I'm seeing Sam Howell lead the team for a touchdown. But that's the thing about the NFL. You can lose the game on one little thing. You know what I mean?
I think I told you before we started.
Yeah.
And you look at the inches, but not even that. If the defender for I think it was Bradbury, if he doesn't have his arm under Terry's foot, that other foot comes down.
Oh, it's a safety. It's a safety. It was a safety. 32. Wasn't Bradbury 32.
The safety the foot comes down in bounds, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like you said, a game of inches, a game of momentum. The Washington Commanders had the momentum. They had the ball that was moving down the field, and it just came up a little bit short. We talked about, you help people. I just want to see what the haters of Sam Howell from last week are saying this week, right?
Can't say no,
because Sam Howell played a better game plan. The ball was coming out quicker. He took 3 sacks. He got sacked 5 sacks today.
But they were legit sacks. I think those plays were legit sacks. They were like sacks.
There was cover sacks because there was nobody down the field.
Or pressure, or real pressure sacks.
Or real pressure, yeah. Stats for Sam Howell, 29 for 41, right? 290. All right, 1 touchdown, which was the touchdown to tie it up, and no interceptions.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
Oh, it's a very good game, especially when. Yeah, go ahead, Glenn.
That's a very good game there. So you saw that the Washington Commanders was kind of willing to commit to the run a little bit. Still,
they were
not enough for me. Okay, not enough for me. You had 14 carries, 28 carries today, 28 runs, right? 28 runs for 107 yards. So
I think they were committed. I just think that the Eagles took it away. Like, I felt like it weren't productive runs. So I think that if you want to run the football, and I'm a big advocate of running the football, but there's some plays where you didn't want to get Sam in 3rd and long, right? And they did run the ball. It's just that first down they weren't winning on first down, and you can't with this the way this offensive line is constructed, right? And the way Sam Howell is too, in terms of we talk about holding the ball, you don't want to get Sam Howell in 3rd and long. So they were just using quick game as the run. So you saw a lot of quick games. So I don't have an issue with the run per se, because I felt like they did what it took in terms of getting in 3rd and manageable. Like, I thought that the game plan to get into 3rd and manageable was cool, and then you would have to ask Sam Howell to like make a big play every big play on 3rd down if need be.
Yeah, I understand the game plan, because I think I said it on the pre-show. The pre-show that we did, you got to be able to be play in front of the sticks and not behind the sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You got to be able to play in front of the sticks. So I definitely understand it. Just the running game to me really wasn't as effective. Anytime Sam Howell is the number 2 rusher for the day with 40 yards, then you got a problem.
We talked about them big boys, bro. We talked about them though. They are as advertised. This is what they do. They do take away the run. Like, I felt like they do take away the run.
They move fast. They cover ground quickly, man. So look at some of the tackles that the Philadelphia Eagles made earlier in the game to stop first downs, right? I think Washington got bailed out a couple times because of penalties.
Yeah, they did.
They got bailed out a couple times because of penalties, but nonetheless, the team still was able to progress down the field. I want to say something that George got a question by George, and this I think we'll hear a lot about this, and I hope that Felix or somebody ask this question to Ron. Because this is not Riverboat Ron, right? It's not what we saw. What we saw wasn't Riverboat Ron, right? Riverboat Ron, as George says, going on for 2 on the road against defending champion. Come on, dog. Not going for 2. Go for 2. If you lose and don't get 2 in that situation, nobody's ridiculing you, right?
Yeah, they're not.
They're not ridiculing you. You got an option to go for it. You Riverboat Ron for a reason. And I know hindsight is 20/20, so hindsight is 20/20. Some people say, "Oh, you go for the 1, you go for overtime, take your chances." And as you mentioned, somebody said, "Well, they did get the ball first; they did have opportunity to go for it."
Yeah,
I think if you're on the road, you in Philadelphia, early in the season, you try to get up out of there. You got the momentum. You have Philadelphia reeling because you just marched down the field 70 plus yards in 1 minute and 43 seconds, right? And got and scored a touchdown. So you got them reeling. Go ahead and just try it. That's just me.
No. I see both sides of it. Like, I was thinking he was gonna go for 2. That was my initial thought process. I was like, he scored. They're going for 2. If AJ Brown gonna give you a gift in terms of scoring that touchdown and then having the 15-yard penalty for player misconduct, I was like, okay, well, all right, he's gonna probably go for 2. But then I was like, you know what? I ain't mad at it, because I used to drag this dude. I mean, the Giants game, I dragged this dude for going for 2 when I would, like, like when you just can just go for the field goal. Like I was cool with it. So I ain't gonna drag you. And plus, you had the opportunity, like you said, they were hot. Sam Howell was hot, and going into the second, I believe I ain't gonna lie, when they had the one to snap, when they won a coin flip, I was like, oh, they're gonna at least get a field goal. Like at least they're gonna get a field goal. And you're looking at that play that, again, I'm not blaming Terry, but that was a great effort play, right? And it was by both parties. Sam Howell putting that ball where it needed to be, and Terry trying to get his feet down. Like you said, Glenn, if dude doesn't get his hand underneath Terry's foot, he's probably coming down with that football. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at it because again, your offense had an opportunity to still end the game. You know what I'm saying? So they had an opportunity to end it. So I ain't hating on it, but I get it though. Like I ain't gonna ever be like, when somebody brings that up as a point, I'm not gonna be like, no, you're wrong. No, I'm not gonna be that, because I feel like that was an opportunity. And Ron does talk about being Riverboat Ron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's opportunity.
So here goes opportunity. George.
Yeah,
is this the same one? Oh,
that's different. Right? Everyone X is going for 2. Again, I'm as a coach, I'm not questioning the coach call. I just understand momentum, and it is a feel of your team, is a feel of the city you in, it's feel of the effort, it's the timing. It's one of those things that you got to do. To see if your team can get there. Got another comment, man. We just take a couple of comments. You roll with it. All right. This one, I don't like to play call in the third. The third quarter. Talking about third quarter. Yeah, I think he's talking about the third quarter.
Oh, okay. I didn't go ahead, Glenn.
I thought the play calling in the third was a little conservative, but again, you got to realize people drop balls in the third, right?
Yeah, Jahan dropped the key one.
Jahan dropped the key one, right? So it's not like the play calling was bad. It's just that the effort wasn't there for some things, and that when it drives going to continue, right? And that was one of the big things. But again, the defense allowed Philadelphia to drive down the field and get a field goal, right? They got a field goal. Then Philly scored again. Washington we knew by looking at this game, I think I said it again in the pre-show, not that I'm Nostradamus or anything, that this would be a track meet, right? That would be going back and forth.
Ray said that. Ray said that too. Ray said it had to be a track meet. So I'm going to get Ray's flowers.
Yeah, Ray flowers. That must have been when I was out. And it's going to be a track meet. And that's what we end up getting, right? And even the announcer said, whoever, the possession is going to be limited. Whoever has the ball may actually have an opportunity to win this game. So Washington play call in the third was a little bit sluggish, but they couldn't get no momentum. And Philadelphia was able to get to momentum. And think about it, Philadelphia scored 11 points. All right, 11 points in that third quarter. So that is they also scored. Here it is. They also scored a 2-point conversion.
They did
in the third quarter. Right.
That was after that 15-yard penalty, though. That kind of helped them out, though.
After the 15-yard penalty helped them out. So they also scored a 2-point.
Yeah.
Right. So
it made the decision easier.
It made that decision easy. It made the decision easy for them. So again, take away that 2-point conversion, the touchdown at the end by Jahan Dotson, it might be
possibly wins the game. Possibly wins the game.
Possibly wins the game. All right.
So there's a bunch of comments. All right, George has one too. He said the Jahan drop turned, and we talking about Jahan. The Jahan drop turned the momentum against them. So huge credit for him making that catch at the end. I agree. I think that Jahan's had a rough season. So this a rough early season. I don't want to act like this is the totality of the season, but that was a big play. Like I'm glad that he did have that play. I think that's going to lead into things in the next 4 games. I feel like because we do it by quarters. They're 2-2 right now in the quarter. It's going to lead to something positive for Jahan the next couple of games.
Yeah, this one here. We got to get to this guy. We really want to get to Forbes play D, right? We will get to. We was going to get to Emmanuel Forbes. Let's be honest, right? Emmanuel Forbes. I want to say this, and we got to give him the same grace that we gave Sam Howell.
Yeah,
he's a rookie.
Yes, true.
All right, he's a rookie
going against AJ Brown.
Who's an elite wide receiver, right?
Yeah, true.
Forbes made some good plays, right? He made some good plays today, but we're gonna talk about the ones that he got burnt on. I'm not saying he had a great day by no means, right? AJ Brown still ended up with like over 175 yard 9 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns, right? But you could tell Forbes would frustrate AJ Brown to the point where AJ Brown was had to put the ball in his lap, right? Like young fella, you can't do this. What frustrated me about Forbes is this. Yeah. Today, I think Forbes could have had 2 picks that he
dropped a
didn't
few.
get.
Yeah, I know.
He
He dropped a
dropped two,
couple.
right?
Yeah, he dropped
I
two.
thought Forbes could have had to pick when the ball was tipped in the air. I understand that. That's a little shaky. The one in the fourth quarter when A.J. Brown broke it up, it looked like Forbes had high pointed it and it was in his hands.
Yeah.
The one that Jalen Hurts overthrew seemed like Forbes could have had that one. Those are the ones that I'm like, okay, young fella, if you want to redeem yourself, you're going to have to make those plays you have to make, right? We go back to the Hail Mary against Denver. We thought Forbes was able to get the ball, able to make the interception that game, right? Those are the plays where is a defining moment for Forbes, even as a young guy. I think he learns from this and he gets better because he's playing the best competition each and every week. So I think he's gonna get better. He's just being battle tested early. You talked about with Jahan, those quarters at 4 games already in. Now you got 3 more quarters to go.
4 more, 3 more quarters. Yeah, true.
Right. So I think Forbes gets better along those quarters because he's faced tough competition early on. And you can see he emotionally broke it up on the sideline, right? Because
you can see it. You see it. That touched the last touchdown. You can see it. I thought that I was a blessing though. I wasn't even mad at the last touchdown, to be honest with you. I was like, thank you. They scored fast because I was like, they're gonna kick a winning field goal. So I know the Eagles were kind of hype. I was like, nah, y'all giving us an opportunity to run down there and get points. I was like, thank you.
I told my son too much time and Washington might be able to get. You know, one thing about the secondary I did not like, it was the first A.J. Brown touchdown. I think the score was 17-13.
Yeah.
If you look at him run that play,
you mean the one touchdown?
He wanted it more than the defense.
Yeah, the effort was bad.
Effort was bad. Effort was bad. He wanted it more than the defense wanted it.
Yeah, I said this, like, I want to actually put this out there too. And I think Jamin played okay, but like that missed tackle to Swift down the sideline. Too many missed tackles, no wraparounds. Davis not executing accurately. I felt like he missed Swift on that one touchdown, one passing play that helped get in the field goal range, but the passer, the intentional grounding kind of eliminated that to kind of help them out. But I will say this, again, we talk about the defense. My issue with this defense is this: it's just not an aggressive defense. It's like they're playing back and they're putting so much onus on the defensive front. I'm not saying you shouldn't put onus on the defensive front to get free. I'm just saying that you got to mix it up. The Eagles have one of the best offensive lines. Arguably, the Eagles probably have the best offensive line in football. And you just cannot think that you're going to win with 4 consistently. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. It doesn't work that way. You will not consistently win with 4. So you have to bring in pressure. I like what Jack was doing towards the end of the game in overtime. I'm like, dude, you could have did that in regulation. Jalen Hurts is only going to throw one read, and that's going to be a deep out to A.J. Brown. Like, it's limited. He's going for the big play. If you bring pressure to Jalen Hurts, he's going big play. It's not like he's going to try to get you on a gas you up the middle. He's going for the go route. That's what it is. Like, he's going for the go route. You saw even before the half, we talked about Devontae Smith on that play. Devontae Smith just made a great play. Like, Forbes was trying to locate it, but Devontae Smith made an elite play. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to make that play every time. You know what I'm saying? At least, like, bring pressure. Stop playing back and say, okay, Jalen, come on, Jalen. Go ahead, beat us with your deep ball. Like, nah, play pressure so Jalen can give you a mistake. Like, Jalen ain't throw no picks. You know what I'm saying? He should be throwing picks to this team. Like, all they doing is go routes. Nah, play back. I mean, bring pressure and play the go route, and you'll be all right. Put yourself in position. But I would like Jack to at least bring more pressure. Like, Jalen is too comfortable, and again, you already got a decent running game combined with Jalen Hurts. That's just too comfortable. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Glenn. You good? You may want to unmute yourself.
No, I'm good. I'm doing multiple things at one time, man.
I got you.
I'm doing multiple things, trying to keep all the chats and everything going. But I think him being comfortable back there gave him confidence, right? I think I can't remember, was it Jonathan Allen or it might have been Chase who missed a sack? No, it was Williams. Who missed a sack on that key drive, right?
Yeah.
When you had Jalen Hurts was able to run down the field. Yeah. Go back to there. You know, when you add pressure, it pulls him out of the pocket. He was only really able to beat them with his feet on that 2 plays. Yeah, and two plays, and that one was a big one to get the first down. That tackle should have been made for a 9-yard loss in the backfield, right? and that would have changed the trajectory of the game outcome of the drive.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I think they scored on that drive. So again, you got to be able to flip the field, and the front four got to be able to take care of things. The secondary, I thought Cam Carroll played an excellent game. Cam Carroll, he played an excellent game today. I think, I thought Derek Forrest played a good game there. But again,
he got to be on that one play. But he played.
He got to be on that one play.
Yeah.
Fuller played an okay game. I just didn't like, again, the touchdown. To me, it showed effort. Fuller's getting twisted, turned around, run through the receiver, man. At that point, run through the block and try to make a tackle.
Which touchdown you talking about with Fuller? Which one?
The play where AJ Brown scored. If you go back to it,
first was that Fuller? I thought that wasn't Forbes. I thought
that was Fuller.
Was that Fuller? It was Fuller.
Okay. Fuller was getting blocked.
Yeah. I got you. You're right.
He's running around in space like he's on the spinning top. Dog, run through the.
But I got you saying he wasn't on AJ Brown though.
No, he wasn't on AJ Brown.
I got you talking about when he had a tackle. Okay, you're talking about the tackle to make a play. To make a play.
Go make a play. Right? It was a 4 zone. Go make a play. To me, they didn't make a play there. Going back to that play, it's just those little things right there makes a difference in the outcome of a football game. And so I think that is one of the keys that this secondary has to look at and got to be able to do. Got to be able to make plays in key situations, right? Tip balls and bounce balls and the opportunity for turnovers.
Yeah.
Got to take those and get off the field on third down.
Yeah.
On third down.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what. All right. So I think this is starting to be an issue. Like this defense. Like we talk about, I think people have been using excuses for the defense. They have. Like last week was Sam Howell, the turnover battle. Like he turned the ball over so much. The defense wasn't that bad. When you're passive, you're going to break. This is a bend but don't break defense, which it should not be a bend but don't break defense. You have too many skilled dudes to be a bend but don't break defense. And like now you got a game where you're giving up explosive plays. Your offense scored 31, bro. They didn't turn the ball over. They weren't putting you in bad situations. You literally gave up points. Sorry, you gave up 34 points. Right? It gets to a point where you do got to assess what you're doing as a defensive coordinator, because this defense is supposed to be right. Like you mentioned, Glenn, forget like the turnovers or whatever we talk about in terms of setting up the defense. They consistently have been giving up third downs right now, right? Consistently have been giving up third downs and third and long at times. When do you fix that up? Because that's telling me that the quarterback is getting time and the quarterback is easily deciphering what to do in those third and long situations. You got to have to quicken the quarterback's mind up. You can't always go with 4. You got to, I'm not saying blitz every third down. I'm not that person, but you got to mix something up because this is starting to be a trend. And if it's a trend, other teams are going to pick up on it. And then you're not going to make them uncomfortable. Oh, you're on mute, my man.
Play George's comment, man. The question was asked during the press conference. JP Finley asked Ron Rivera did he consider going for 2 at the end of regulation, but the guys with gas considered it was a 65-yard touchdown drive in 80 seconds. I believe it.
I don't know.
Suck it up.
Suck it up. I don't know, bro. I feel like, again, the offense had an opportunity to do it again. I feel like they were confident that they were going to score. I mean, I feel like they were confident they were going to score. So I feel like if they didn't win the coin toss, I felt then I would be like, yeah, Ron gonna get it for this. But you had your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be real with you, it was there. Like, it's not like it wasn't there. Like, that pass was a good pass. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't happen, right? Like, there's nobody to blame on that play. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to be like, it was there.
Yeah, I don't think you blame. I don't think.
You can't blame nobody. And so I'm like,
they gave you the effort. They gave you everything they had in the tank. And defensively, they gave you what they could. We didn't stop a slant, right? You didn't stop a slant to Smith to put them.
That's the thing that got me again.
To put them in field goal range, right?
Yeah.
It was a slant. You knew they needed to get at least 10 yards or 7-8 yards, right? It's 37.
I would play that.
Third and 17, you take your way inside. They're not going outside. He ain't going for the home run ball.
Yep.
You beat him at the home run ball, that he's going to get his kicker in kicker range, right?
Yeah.
And guess what you're going to do? You take away the inside. That stuff right there is what you look at. That's the teachable things. This is, you understand the game, understand the situation, understand the down and distance. understand what if you get fourth down there, even if it's let's say 4th and 8, let's say 4th and 10, right? He picked up 7. You still out of
Mhm.
you still out of field goal range. That's a 60-some-yard field goal.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was
But you
my
gave
issue.
you gave up 10, right?
Yeah.
You gave up 10 yards. You put it 10 yards closer than
Mhm.
what it was. So in this case, those things you got to be able to look at. And those things you got to be able to understand as a player, as a coach. And I also didn't like the fact they didn't call a timeout to try to ice him. I mean, I'm not saying that when you do that,
You should
but
have. Yeah.
I
I thought
think you
so
should.
too.
I think
You
you
might
should.
as well. Yeah.
You ain't
Dying
take.
knees. You
You
might
can't
as
take him in the
well.
locker room, man. Take
Yeah.
time out. Whatever the case may be.
You
That
did it.
mess
You
with the
did it
snapper,
earlier.
right?
They did it. They did it early. They did it earlier. They did it early in the first half. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I mean, by the end of that first half, when he kicked the field goal, I'm with you. Like that play annoyed me too. I mean, I saw they did bring pressure, but again, you play it a certain way, right? You just take away its range. Like I would prefer it to be around 58. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, but you would feel like, all right, this kicker's one of the best kickers of football. So you want to try to take away as much as you can from him, right? So I would have like brought pressure and just been like, you know what? At the end of the day, if you catch it, you catch it. Ain't nothing you gonna do about it. You're in his range. You dig what I'm saying? Like he catches, you catch it, but take it away. But make sure it's contested. You know what I'm saying? Like be contested. Try to if he beats you man up on that play, then he beats you. But you're letting him run free again. Yeah, and then you just try to make the tackle, which I'm not really a big fan of. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm with you, Glenn. Like that's you're already there. You're already in that situation. Especially you got not gifted, but you just got an awesome intentional grounding play. Now it's time to take that all the way off. You know what I mean? Off the board. But you wouldn't have that situation, I think, and I think George mentioned you wouldn't get that situation if it wasn't for Tressway and that bad punt.
Right. But to Tressway's defense,
And this is George's comment too.
yeah. To Tressway's defense, George, all day long when the Washington Commanders had to punt, the protection was in there.
Okay.
If you look at his punts that he punted today, everything had to be short leg to get off quickly. He couldn't get full extension on any of them. And I know that's his job and that's what he does, but the guys up front have a job too to do also, and that's to give him enough time to do it. And he wasn't able to do it today like he normally has because of the guys up front in the pass rush he was getting. One thing I do want to say about the Commanders, people talk about all the time.
Yeah.
This team was 4 for 5 in the red zone today.
I feel like Eric
Right.
Bieniemy. Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
4 for 5 in the red zone.
Good.
You could Philadelphia had chunk plays, big plays. So guess what? This team has become more effective and more efficient in the red zone under Eric Bieniemy than they ever were under Scott Turner.
Seriously.
And I'm not saying it because I like the Commanders, but I'm saying that because you look at the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie, as people say, right? They're 4 for 5, right? And this team also didn't get penalized a lot today, right? 7 penalties for 41 yards. Wasn't heavily penalized today. Pretty much a clean type game. This team, they're playing better, and that's what you asked for, right? They're playing better. It is a long football season. They're playing better than last week. They're playing better. They had a hiccup last week, but as I think you came on with this, they consistently putting a lot of points on the board. They're consistently putting a lot of points on the scoreboard, and we haven't seen a Washington Commander team do this in a long time. It's amazing, right? If the defense was living up to what its billing was and was stopping people,
it'd be a whole different. We'd be talking about a whole different thing.
We're talking about a whole different thing right now, right?
Yeah.
This defense is giving up stuff late and making the offense bail them out. And the past in past years, the defense has kept it close and just needed the offense to score. Now the offense is putting up a lot of points and telling the defense, "I need y'all to just hold."
Yeah,
it's like the roles have been reversed.
I agree. No, I totally agree. My man, on my Facebook page, my man Tony Snow said, "Not in terms of the Terry catch, said, nah, this pure larceny. It was a catch. They are constantly moving before the snap on that play, and the Commanders get no respect like Rodney Dangerfield." I thought, I still think it was. I mean, It was tough. It was close, man. I knew that when I saw the replay. I was like, this ain't getting no return. And my man, Greg, said Commanders trash. I know who you are, Greg, man. Screw your Lions. But yeah, in terms of, I do like your point you made. Glenn, in terms of like the how things have changed, right? The defense is now like to me, it's the weakest link of the two. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think it is. I think when you go into a game, you have the expectation that this offense can score, right? The Buffalo game was like, okay, it's Buffalo, but now you see like you have the expectation that this team can score, and they can score pretty easily. Like this Eagles defense was well renowned, right? Folks are talking about it's one of the better defense in the NFL, and Washington put 30, and Washington put 31. They put 31 on them, right? So, and this is without any turnovers, without any short fields, they put 31 on them on this defense. It gets to a point where now you need the defense to step up and be what everybody talked about. I mention this every week, you know what I'm saying? And people say like, "Oh, you're hard on this defense." You put all the collateral on this, all the equity on this team, on defense, right? No one needs a bend but don't break defense on a defense. You put all the equity in. That makes no sense. All right, that bend but don't break defense is for a lesser defensive team, right? With less talent, and I mean talent-wise. You have the talent. You like your safeties, right? Cam Curl is supposed to be one of the better safeties in football. Defoe's one of the young good safeties in football. You drafted Emmanuel Forbes. Everybody loves Benjamin St-Juste, right? You got a good front. You got first rounders on the front four. Jamin ain't even hasn't been bad, right? Jamin has been pretty deep, has been pretty good. Of like other than that one missed tackle on the sideline with Swift, Jamin's been pretty good. So to me, you got dudes who playing well. So why are we doing bend but don't break? Like why is that the thing? Why is it cool to be like if you have a defense like the Tennessee Titans, the Chicago Bears, you can play a bend but don't break defense. You can. But when you have the talent on the defensive front, like Washington does, and you got safety play like you got safety play that people say, oh, these are good safeties. You got a corner that you drafted in the first round. Why is the bend but don't break? Why does it take? And no one's asking for the defense. No one's asking for the defense to blitz all the time, but they're looking for people to mix it up. When you watch the Dallas, I'm gonna say this, when you watch the Dallas Cowboys in their front, some of the dudes you don't even know what school they went to, other than Micah Parsons. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of them dudes you don't even know what school they went to. But when you look at how they utilize those folks on the D line, they moving Micah Parsons every which way around. Micah Parsons ain't in the same place. They moving him around. What's my boy in Cleveland? I'm having a moment.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, when you watch Myles Garrett, thank you. When you watch Myles Garrett, they moving him around. Like you're not gonna know where Myles Garrett is coming from. You're not going to. So I'm just saying, like and Washington has multiple dudes that you can move around. You can play with. You got multiple dudes. Oh man. Oh, Gio said, we're not hard enough on our defense. These teams fear us when they come. They watch endless tape and on how we execute on the defense. We need to be strong. I agree. We ain't hard enough on this defense. We're not. I totally agree with you. We're not. This defense should be dominant. Like, if you want, I'm gonna say this again. I've been saying this for weeks. If you want a top 10 defense, coach this way. What I mean by that is coach this way. Coach to be regular. You know what I'm saying? You want a top 10, top 15, coach this way. Because eventually you're gonna play some sorry team and they're gonna help you out with stats. You're gonna play a sorry team. So they're gonna make you feel good about yourself. But if you want to be a dominant defense, you want to be a top 3 defense, improve your play and improve how you scheme up for teams. Stop being dormant. Stop being counteractive. Stop being counteractive. Stop it. Be active. Right. Push the issue. The issue. If you push the issue, you'll be a better defense. That's the thing. In this game, and you saw it in this game, Jalen Hurts isn't a amazing passer by any stretch of the imagination. He's not. Mm-mm. He likes to go. I said it. We said this on the pregame. He likes to go deep. He likes to go deep. And if you don't apply pressure, and your coverage ain't lining up, you're going to get those deep plays. But if you play deep and make him rush the throw, chances are you'll get a turnover. Jalen's been throwing turnovers before the Washington game. He had none today.
Which he should have had 3.
Yeah.
3 that I counted.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then when it's go time, when you need to make a stop, you're still relying on something that's not working.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I don't put it, and see, everybody's like, okay, when you put a lot on the D line, they need to step up. yeah, they need to step up a little bit. But if you keep putting all your pressure on the D line, especially against one of the better offensive lines of football, that's too much pressure you're putting on them. How about make it easy for them to a point where Montez could come free because they got worried about extra man, or Chase could come free, or Duron could come free, or Allen could come free because you got an extra rusher. How about do that?
Right, and it's
Oh, there you go. This is perfect. A passive coach. I agree.
Yeah. You got to, in linebackers, everybody got to be involved, right? Everybody got to be involved in the defense. Everybody puts everything on the front four. Today, if you look at it, Philly kind of handled the front four.
They did. They did.
You know?
I mean, they had some. Chase had a sack. Allen had a sack. I think those two had sacks. I think they had 2 sacks. I think I had 2 sacks. I'll check the stats up. But I know Chase and Allen had sacks. But it doesn't. But in grand scheme of things, in terms of creating havoc, did they really create havoc?
No,
they didn't create no havoc.
Had 3 sacks today.
3 sacks. Who had 3 sacks? The team.
No, Washington. Team had 3 sacks.
So it's like it's not. This game wasn't. This team wasn't creating constant pressure. And then like you gotta make Jalen work. My man George said. What did George say? I think George is putting.
Yeah, 3 sacks. Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, and Cam Curl had a sack.
Cam Curl? Yeah, Cam did have a sack. Chase won quite a few times today where he either pushed the lineman into the quarterback or nearly done so. Yeah, I thought folks played well to a certain extent getting pressure, but to get home and have that and to create havoc for Jalen Hurts, I don't think they did enough. That's all. Like, I don't think they did enough to create havoc for Jalen Hurts. It's not like Jalen Hurts. You got to worry about him, like, you know, to break up to pick apart your blitzes like a Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. You're not worried about that type of stuff with Jalen Hurts. Bring pressure. Make him make a mistake, man. Make him make a mistake. That's all I'm asking for. Just make a mistake. So we talked about Sam Howell, obviously bouncing back from that Bills game. Glenn, how would you assess, if you had to give him a grade, how would you assess Sam Howell's performance today? Because I do want to be a little positive.
I give Sam Howell a B. I give him a B today. An A, not because he still held onto the ball a little too long in some instances.
Oh, you thought so? I didn't think so, but go ahead.
Yeah, in some situations he still held onto the ball too long, a couple of those sacks. Instead of, and I say that because instead of trying to throw it downfield, we talked about it on the pregame again. If y'all haven't watched our pregame, a lot of things that we talked about on the pregame. It
happened though, real talk.
real talk has happened, right? We kind of talked to. So if you go back and check it out, and we talked to pregame, right? We talked about him being able to get it out, throw it away, right? I thought a couple of sacks, 2 out of the 5 that he took, he should have just was able to throw it away, right? I thought he did well with his feet today, right? Being able to run, right? He picked up 40 yards today with his feet, which extended drives and saved and helped the Washington Commanders at least be able to get into overtime. So I would give him give Sam Howell a B today. For all the haters out there talking about he wasn't the right guy, that they need to get rid of him. He sucked. Again, this is only his 5th start. Look at some of the legends in there when they had their 5th start. Peyton Manning was the first person to come to mind, right? Yeah. Peyton Manning was not good in his 5th start, right? We can't even talk about Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers because those guys set a long time behind a quarterback. When we judging guys, let's do apple to apples and orange to orange. A guy who came maybe 1 or 2 years and then he had an opportunity to play. Sam Howell showed you today that he was a dog. He showed you he had ice water in his veins. He showed you that he commanded the offense. He showed you that he was willing to knew what he was supposed to do in key late situations. Think about it. It could have been a little bit earlier before they even get to the drive for overtime. If Pringle catches up to the ball, don't slow down, right? Sam Howell put it on the money to Pringle.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah,
I thought he put on the money. I thought he put on the money to Pringle, right? And we talked about the Jadon.
Why was he even in the game though? Why was he even in the game?
We talked about the Jahan Dotson drop, right?
Yeah.
We talked about the one that I think he overthrew Diami or hit Diami.
Yeah, he underthrew Diami. If he led Diami, you're talking about when Slay got hurt. If he had led Diami more. That was there. That play could have been had. Like I know Ray was like scary. Was open. underneath. But I was like, if he led Dyami, because Dyami had some steps on Bradbury, and the safety had to help out. If he threw it on a different angle, a different curve, he had Terry too, and he had Terry too on a deep play too.
Yeah, so I thought he played well. And just again, I give him a B.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a B for bouncing back. I think it's hard to bounce back from a game like you saw against Buffalo, right? So I felt like, to me, off that alone, I'm gonna give him an A- because I felt like he did so many good things in that game. Like, no one's gonna play a perfect game, like that. No one, I don't care who you are, like no one is gonna play a perfect game. But I just thought that what he did in terms of like continuing drives, running, in terms of not having time there in the pocket, creating big plays, avoiding sacks. I thought he avoided a couple sacks. Accurate with the football, like that play, the last play on the tying drive, where how he found Diami. I mean, Diami. He found Jahan on that play, just to put it on the money. We seen dudes. I mean, come on, we watched Washington quarterbacks play here, man. Like that play. We saw Carson Wentz last year against the Tennessee Titans. Was like he had 3 downs from the 5-yard line and wasn't able to get the ball in the end zone, or the 2-yard, maybe even closer than that. You got a dude here, a young dude, third down. Is it third down? Like with 5 seconds left. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the last play. This is all you can get, and able to get that ball into Jahan to tie the game, take the overtime. To me, like things like that, though, and knowing that what he had to deal with, what he went through the week before him against Buffalo, that's resolve, man. You don't get that. That don't happen often. In the NFL. A lot of people take what happened in week 1 and bring it over to week 2. I mean, the prior week, and bring it over to the next week. He didn't.
And we haven't seen a quarterback here in Washington to do that in a while. And I don't even want you Heineke guys to come start talking, because it's not, because he didn't get Terry killed today. He put the ball on the money, not led Terry over the middle. I don't think he's led any receiver over the middle to get killed.
Probably other than but that was dirty. It wasn't him. I don't think it was him, other than probably Logan. But that really
probably Logan. That was
that's like a little iffy. I think that dude was like real dirty. But yeah, I think that I thought I would definitely give him an A. My man Gio gave him a C. Gio, why'd you give him a C? I'm real interested about that, bro. Like, why Gio Wonder Man? Like, why would you give him a C? I'm interested to know why would you grade him out that way?
All right. He answered the question.
He did? Okay, what's that? He needs to just be consistent or create a groove. Create a groove for himself and anticipate the defense so that he can throw the opposite way to create bigger. I totally agree. I mean, I agree with that. But that's just being young, though. A lot of young quarterbacks. I'll be honest with you. Even Pat Mahomes said his first year he wasn't reading the field like that either. It's just that
Jared Goff better.
He said he learned, and Pat Mahomes was awesome. But he said he learned better. He learned to do that more his second, third year to read the field. But he had Tyreek Hill, so he didn't have to worry about reading the whole field. Tyreek Hill was like open. You don't have to read the field when you have Tyreek Hill. He's just running free. Offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy took a lot of blame last week, bro. Folks like he didn't run the ball enough. But again, he put up a 30 piece. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on his play calling today, Glenn?
I thought the play call was spot on. Mm-hmm. I thought you had to stay true to the run. You couldn't be just an all pass team. I think he did some good job, good calls there. I think even a touchdown call was a decent call, right?
Yeah.
How to get him down the field real quick with one timeout. I mean, let's not forget, and I don't want to give Sam Howell took a sack on that drive where they had to burn their final timeout, right? Yeah. They had to burn their final timeout on the last drive with 105 left. I think they put 109 back on the clock. And then he had to continue to move the drive. They was able to get up. Luckily, the ball was dropped. I think it was Pringle again who dropped the ball with 1 second left, who gave them opportunity.
Oh, no. Oh, that was Terry.
Terry dropped the ball.
That was good, though. That was Terry. That was good,
dropped the – no, Samuel. Matter of fact, it was Samuel.
Oh, Samuel. Sorry, it was Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel.
That was good.
Samuel dropped the ball left for 1 second left, give him opportunity. That game would have been over, right?
Yep.
Give him an opportunity to go to the end zone. They was able to do that. So, again, that Bieniemy called a good game. You knew that you wasn't going to get a 100-yard rusher, right? Philadelphia knew they wasn't going to get a 100-yard rusher. The Washington defense, I know we've been chopping the defense up a little bit, but they held Swift to 46 yards, right? Swift is the leading rusher right now, and a league or number 2, 1 or 2, whatever way he came into the game.
He was 2 at the time. Yeah.
I think it's 2. Yeah, number 2 rusher behind Christian McCaffrey. and he only held on 46 yards. So this defense can stop running games. Then you ask yourself a question again. Okay, is it a secondary? Right?
Is it a secondary? I don't think it's the secondary. I mean, I think it definitely is. I mean, they are getting beat. They're giving up big plays. Like, for instance, I don't think it's. It definitely ain't. I'm gonna call people out who aren't the problem. It ain't Kendall Fuller, because Kendall Fuller hasn't been getting beat. I'm gonna give him credit, and a lot of people like to get him. Actually, I'll say that St. Juice. I don't even know if St. Juice has been beat like that. Today was definitely Forbes. I'm trying to go back in my memory, but it's definitely been Forbes though. Forbes was the problem today, and he's a rookie. I don't like being hard on him. You know what I'm saying? I will say, like I said this about him, like I don't want him on Stephon Diggs last week. I don't want him on freaking Brown, AJ Brown. Like, why would I don't want him on AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need him on AJ Brown. I don't like that matchup. And if I am gonna have him on AJ Brown, I'm gonna give him some help. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna make sure it's a conscious effort to make sure he gets help over top. You know what I'm saying? But I guess, you know, because of last year, you saw Devontae Smith like torch Fuller, so maybe they were kind of concerned with that matchup. But I don't like him being isolated one-on-one on AJ Brown, because it's AJ Brown, bro. Like, Emmanuel Forbes ain't there yet. I think he's gonna be a really good corner. I think he's gonna be a real good corner, but he ain't there yet. But yeah, back to EB. I think EB, like, to me, EB was great. I felt like, you know, it shuts up the haters when it comes to EB. It shuts up the haters. So a lot of folks were like, oh, I saw some folks like, what's the difference between EB and Scott Turner? I think you see the difference. I think you see a big difference. So, you know, again, 31 points. Look at what the offense did in terms of Sam Howell. Did Sam Howell throw for over 3? I want to say he threw for over, he threw for 290. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like
290 today.
290, efficient in terms of running game.
No turnovers.
No turnovers. They had 107 yards rushing as a whole. Yeah, you would want them to run a little bit more because Sam Howell had 40 yards of it, but still they did run the football to a certain extent. So they did. So they had over like 300 yards, close to 400 yards of total offense.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like, you know, Eric Bieniemy has shown folks that like he can coach up offense, and he's coaching up this offense. It's just time for the other side to kind of help out. But so, Glenn, we talked about like Sam Howell, and that's a positive. What are some of your positives out of this game?
Antonio Gibson, bouncing back. You know, he had the one ball on the toss that bounced back to him. But other than that, he the moments that he was given, we talked about on the pregame. The moments that he was given, he did impress. He was able to help this team. And in the passing game, he was able to help the team in the running game. That's a good moment. And then Brian Robinson, right? Let's be honest. Brian Robinson should have had tough running. Should have had 2 touchdowns today. One bounced out, and Terry ended up getting it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. Terry ended up getting it, but that was Brian Robinson's touchdown, because that run right there was nothing but it was all Brian Robinson, right? That touchdown was all Brian Robinson. It wasn't anybody else. It was Brian Robinson who did a great job there.
Robinson, left side, got bumped back, lowered the shoulder, lost the ball.
It didn't end zone. Tough run by Brian Robinson. So that's what you want Brian Robinson to do. That's what you want your running back to do, to get an end zone. And we know Terry recovered it. But, I mean, Brian, we said it again, fantasy player, the pick of the day. We said Brian Robinson. So that's a
that was a good one. Yeah, that was good. That was good when he got points. Definitely.
He got points. He was a good pick. He was a good run there. Who else was to me? Curtis Samuel, man. Curtis Samuel. 7 catches, 51 yards.
He was solid, bro. He was
solid. He's been solid since he's been with his organization. He's been solid, right? When he's healthy. He's healthy. So he was solid today. Sam Howell hit 9 different receivers today, right? Again, spreading the ball around. It's good to see Dahami getting some burn, right? Pringle getting some burn. You seeing different guys in different situations on the field, which is great, right? Well, we get to the bonehead play today, but I'll talk about that later. We stay positive.
Oh, I'm positive. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say positive right now.
You saw George's. You saw George's comment.
Not yet, but I didn't see it yet. But hold on, I'll get to the bonehead play.
Because to a certain extent, it is a bonehead play. But for me, my positives are Terry. But that's Terry, right? Like, he's always positive. Like 86 yards receiving. Like, kids contested grabs. Man, he was a force out there. We mentioned it earlier. I'm gonna put Jahan out there in terms of like not having your best game. Like actually, I felt like that was his worst game because he just doesn't drop the ball. Like that dude has been very reliable when the ball touches his hands. He doesn't never drop anything. He dropping that because how big that play was. That was on a third down. He catches it. They extend the drive, right?
Right.
So he drops it on third down. And I think that changed They changed the flow of the game to a certain extent, in my opinion. So I think that play, but to bounce back from that, I'm gonna give him credit. I think that getting that last touchdown to take this team into overtime was big. You know what I mean? Especially again when something's like clutch and that much pressure, there's so much added into that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, George, he says the positive offensive line, okay. Did better than I thought. Terry and Sam Howell late in both halves. Curtis Samuel, Evie's play calling. Dotson redeems himself late. Yeah, I agree. I thought those are all good points, man. But yeah, I think, and also I can't really the defense. You gave it 34 points, and it's so much positive I can come out of that. I thought Logan coming back. I thought Logan was sharp. Look, he looked sharp coming back. You know what I mean? Logan had 24 yards receiving. But he had some big catches, and he even took a bad hit again. It was helmet to helmet. The dude wasn't trying to be dirty. It was helmet to helmet. But that was a hit though. It was a nasty looking hit. So, but yeah, I'll give them credit. I'll give those guys credit. I am happy for Diami. I would like to get Diami more involved. More than Pringle. I don't feel like Pringle needs to be involved as much as Diami because Diami looks like he can make some plays out there. Like he looks more confident out there.
He blows the tops off.
And I did like the deep shots. I felt like we took way more deep shots than we've done over the last couple of weeks. Right. I do feel like we took more deep shots. I will say that's a positive.
He found Diami 2 for a first down on a deep one
on a big play. He sure did. That was he hit Diami for a 35-yard reception.
Yeah. Richard Pierce said a good comment here about Richard, man.
Y'all have a good defense line, but the secondary was giving up big plays. Yeah, I feel all right. Are you an Eagle fan, Richard? So you say y'all. You may be a.
But you're welcome though. You're welcome.
I appreciate you though. I appreciate you. No, real talk. No, I appreciate you, bro. The D line good, but this is the thing. You put too much onus on the defensive line. Sometimes you just gotta break. You gotta get free early. You gotta get free early. You gotta get free early so you can kind of make. A quarterback like Jalen Hurts rushed the pass. You know what I'm saying? I felt like they didn't do that. Yeah, he Eagle fan. Appreciate you, homie. I felt like if they had him rush, keep it 100. I appreciate you, dude, my dude. So actually for that, keep it 100. I got you. Yeah, my man.
Yeah, we can keep it 100, man. We keep it 100 around here, man. And
I feel like like obviously the rookie struggled. You know what I'm saying? Like he struggled. It is what it is. Like Manuel Forbes struggled, but I do think that you can make things easier if you bring pressure. Like just mix things up because if you get a quarterback comfortable, they're gonna do whatever. So let's go to negatives though. I'm gonna go because there's some negatives we can like get into. Glenn, what are your negatives out there?
I'm gonna go with George's negative first. I'll let those in the chat get their negatives out first, right? Jack Del Rio, Robert Beard, I go for 2. Tressway punts. Again, I mentioned that George Tressway punts. I put on that line that he had in front of him. Jack Del Rio, the defense got to do something different to help Emmanuel Forbes over top, maybe with a safety, something of that nature. And if you're Ron Rivera not go for 2, that's a coach's call. I got to take the man for his answer. I think that was a negative, but I think one of the negatives for me was Jamison Crowder. Like, dog,
that fair catch thing? You're right.
That's a big negative for me because that opportunity for you able to gain more yards, and you can't say you blocking the sun. You made the hand movement, right? The hand movement, you went up and went down.
What that was,
you're not blocking the sun. They're blocking the sun is like this, right? You went like this. Again, brain fart, mess up, whatever you want to call it.
He messed up. He
messed up, right?
You shall play that off.
The Crowder play is good. You can't do the John Cena at that moment, right? You can't see me, right? And then you can go and you're lying about it. So it wasn't a son. I'm glad he caught the ball. But the question that we have now is like, I'm glad Crowder's back, but what has he done for us? Has he done better than Dex Milne?
Oh, he's been done. He's been better. He's gotten positive yards. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, he got positive yards.
I'm not. I will not insult that. I will not insult him that way. No.
He got positive yards, but he has not been a game changer. And that's what my point is.
No, he's not. But he has not been a game changer. Yeah, Jordan Dick Carter has been still for the Eagles. I agree, homie.
Oh, yeah. So,
Jordan
Carter
yeah.
was lights out. And I'm telling you who else was lights out for the Eagles. Zach Cunningham, right? Cunningham was lights out for the Eagles today. I really was impressed. Even when Curtis Samuels would split both guys. And I guess he grabbed the back.
When he grabbed his shirt. Yeah,
grabbed his shirt. Yo,
yeah.
That defense, one thing you can say about the Eagle defense that I can say, whatever they put hands on you, they brought you down, right? Yeah. You didn't get much there. Look at the quarterback sneak, or I'm called quarterback sneak, or what Logan Thomas's sneak, right? The second one.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't go to the well too many times, and you can't hit. I'm gonna say this.
You got B-Rob. You don't gotta do that. You got B-Rob. You don't need to do all that.
You can't emulate what somebody else does, right?
Agreed.
I thought they was trying to be the Eagles at that point, doing what the Eagles do. The Eagles push, whatever you want to call it.
But they got the first down anyway. They got the first down after it anyway.
Yeah, they got the first down after it, but at the same time, I thought the defense was able to neutralize Fletcher Cox. Didn't really have a big plays in that game. I mean, offense, Fletcher Cox. Another negative, Wiley. Use a left tackle.
He's gonna always be a negative. He's right tackle, right? He's right.
No, left. Played left today. Left tackle. Wiley played left.
Over who? Leno was there. Leno was left. Leno was there.
No, but Wiley gave up the sack when he was at left tackle. The late one.
Wiley was on right because when Leno was still playing, he didn't get hurt. They ain't switching anything up.
But they had Wiley on the left. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, you pull it up
see if I can pull up. Wiley gave us a sack on the left side, left tackle. So to me, left to right, he was a negative to me today.
Oh no! No. Wiley is horrible. Like I'm just be keep the buck. Wiley is just horrible. Leno wasn't as bad, I guess. I thought. Like George said, the line was better than I thought they would be after watching what Buffalo did. So and interior speaking in the interior, they had some plays they gave up. I think more in the second half, but all in all, I think as a totality, I thought the interior wasn't as bad. I just like in terms of other negatives. I'm trying to think of another negative because there's a lot of negative. Obviously, there's Manuel Forbes, like who's getting burnt, but I put that on Jack, man. Like when somebody keep getting torched like that, you got to adjust. You got to say, okay, maybe we can't have you one-on-one on this dude because it's not like he giving up 10-yard passes. He's giving up bombs, bro. Like he ain't giving up 10-yard passes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like totally agree. Smart play. This is why I agree. That's what I liked about it too. Smart play calling by y'all, getting rid of the ball quick, especially with I totally agree. That's what I was saying in terms of it kind of shows itself as the running game, getting the ball out quick, getting like 5 yards, getting them in third and manageable. Totally agree with you, man. But yeah, in terms of like that being a negative, Emmanuel Forbes. I'm always going to call some of the same dudes out. Like Cody Barton is always going to be a negative to me because I don't even know why he's on the field. I'll be honest, I don't know why he's on the field. And Jack Del Rio, you just got to be better, bro. You just got to be better because we're seeing other. And I feel like I'm redundant. I'm mentioning Jack a lot, but we've seen it, bro. We've seen. What this defense we know what this defense should be going into like camp. Everybody says the defense is supposed to be top tier. It's supposed to be one of the best defenses. Last season it was a top 10 defense, and even that I felt like it should be better. Even being a top 10 defense last year, it should have been better. This year, it's not. Just by watching, bro, like you're giving up too many big plays, and you're cool with giving up certain plays. Like you're cool with it, and I feel like. If you're a defense, if you're a defense, you want to be stingy. You ain't trying to get nobody your lunch money. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Washington's cool with giving folks their lunch money at times. They cool with it. Like you want 5 yards, have 5 yards. You want 3 yards, have 3 yards. How about not getting any yards? How about trying to stop a team from getting a pass period? It's like, oh, you want to catch this ball? Don't worry. All we gotta do is get a solid tackle. We're cool getting a solid tackle with a tackle. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And hold you to like 5 yards on that catch. Nah, because sometimes some of these teams are efficient on 2nd and 5. I don't want to get the Eagles in 3rd and short. Like, I know what Jalen Hurts is going to do. I know the push play is happening. I'm like, okay, first down automatically. You know what I mean? Like, I know what's going to happen. You want this team in 3rd and long. If you want this team in 3rd and long, 2nd down on defense, when a team is probably going to be more predicated to pass the ball more times than not, if you do a good job on 1st down, bring some pressure. At least bring pressure on 2nd down. At least so it can be like, all right, 3rd and long, we're going to get you in 3rd and long. And then you're in whatever you want to do. You got to handle this. But I'm not cool with it. And then it gets to a point where we've seen this under Jack Del Rio, right? Giving up the big play. And I seen this on one of my chats, and I mean, maybe like folks are like, is this secondary discipline? And I'm like, it probably isn't, but it's always been an issue, right? Like they're giving up big plays. So is it coaching? It can't always be like, all right, these dudes ain't smart enough to run your system. Is it coaching? Because it's always like somebody running free. Why is that?
Yeah. I don't know. It's coaching. Oh, it's just execution. And
but it's always a thing, though. It is always a thing. So how is it? If it's always a thing, how do you like? Who's in charge of fixing it or bringing the right players in? Because you've changed players up. You've got the safety you want, and you got the safeties you want in Defoe and Cam Curl, right? You drafted Emmanuel Forbes as a corner you wanted, right? You got Fuller. You chose to keep Fuller, and you got St. Juice.
Yeah, I think it's discipline is about being in the right spot. It's about making a tackle. Today, I think sometimes they were in the right spot. They just didn't secure the tackle. I think they're missing, grabbing and missing a little bit. So it's those type of things. But I think with this, if they stick together, the season is what Commander fans are looking for, right?
Yeah.
I think Philly has to come down to DC. I think it's October 29th or something like that. Yeah. Towards the end of the month, toward the end of October.
Hopefully Washington's a better team by then in terms of.
I think Washington will be a better team. I mean, they start Thursday night. They play the Bears. I mean, to think this week, it starts with the Bears this week. I think this team. I think this team gets on a roll and knocks out a couple wins in the next couple weeks.
It'll be good. I don't like to call.
I'm not saying.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. I'll say this much.
Up.
Yeah, I'll just say like it's Thursday night. Thursday night games are pretty hard to come back. Play an effective game after playing on Sunday. So. On a short week, so hopefully they're prepared and ready for their Thursday night game. But for you, what was your biggest issue in this performance, dog? What was your biggest issue?
Oh man, my biggest issue. I think one of the guys in the chat said it earlier. To me, I think the third quarter they went to sleep. Right. Third quarter, I think the team went to sleep. Was in cruise control. And I say that because you scored 7 points in the first. You scored 10 points in the second. You scored 14 in the fourth.
Yeah, man.
And you don't score anything in the third, right? You don't even get into the range to throw anything, to score anything in the third. Yeah. And you let the Philadelphia Eagles win the third quarter, which, if you look at it, won this football game.
Yeah, I think the third quarter is
the third quarter won the football game.
Agree.
The 2 point conversion, right? Won the football game.
Yeah.
You could stop them, make them kick a field goal, right? So those are the things, because the defense was holding Philly to field goals. Let's be honest. They was holding them to field goals. Even though they were getting chunk plays or big explosive plays, the defense still was able to. They gave Philly only got a field goal in the third. They scored. They scored 8 and 11, 7. And, Philly scored every quarter. Plus overtime.
I mean, right? They scored.
And that's one of the things that they need. I forgot to mention one of my positives.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Throw it out there.
And I want to put a positive that this team did what we said again in the pre-show. They came out and they scored on the first drive. And I thought that was huge for this team.
That's good. They did it.
It was huge for this team. The first time all year that they scored on the first drive, because I went down the stats, right? They had punt. They had missed a field goal. And this time they actually drove down the field, held the ball for over 7 minutes, and punched it into the end zone. And they finished the game. They finished the drive, which was key there. Now, of course, Philly helped them a little bit with a penalty. But nonetheless, neither here nor there. This team marched down there and they finished the drive. I thought that was a big positive. And goes with my negative. They was able to do that in the third.
Yeah, in terms of the time possession was huge. Actually, Washington won the time possession throughout the game. That was 35. They had 35 minutes, and the Eagles had 30 minutes in terms of time possession. They did. They played I felt like the biggest thing the thing that annoyed me the most. I mean, I feel like I don't want to be redundant. It's the same thing. It's Jack Del Rio. It is. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's Jack Del Rio.
Is it time for him to go?
Huh?
That's the question. Is it time for Jack to go?
I think so. I mean, you can't do it during the season, but I think that I was like, it was for me when I used to talk about Jack. I was like, what? It's hard to say he should go because he's still got a top tier. It's a top 10 defense, right? 2 out of 3 years he's had a top 10 defense, but I think you still have to coach to what your talent is. I'll give an example. It'd be like I'll use basketball reference. Like you use the Lakers in the 80s, right? Winning time, you watch winning time, whatever. The coach before Pat Riley, I forgot his name, but Westpaul. It's Westpaul. It's Westpaul. Westhead or Westpaul. I think it's Westpaul. Like he wasn't winning. He was winning, but he wasn't winning. Magic wasn't being used right, and they weren't winning the way they need to win. They would be okay, but they weren't winning the way they need to win. The same thing comes with here with Jack Del Rio. I'm not saying it's somebody on the staff that can replace Jack, but this team is better than what they're being coached up to. Yeah, they can end the season being tenant. Like for instance, they can play the Chicago Bears and get right. That's gonna improve their defensive value, right? Their stats, their rankings. But at the end of the day, when you play a better team, you're just masking the obvious. You dig what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to coach up to your talent. And I don't think he coaches up to his talent. Once he does that, if somebody can do that for this team, I think it'll be a better defense. That's why when people get on for players like a Chase Young or Montez Sweat, they're not getting a bunch of sacks. I'm like, if they had a better system, a better defensive system in terms of going pinning their ears and getting the quarterback for the ends, rather than always worried about being in their fit and their gaps or whatever. And you should, but some defensive coordinators want you to have freedom and just go play ball. And I feel like some of them dudes like Montez and Chase, they overthink it because that's what's being coached. So it's that hard line of go get the quarterback but stay in your fits. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you could tell like that type of, it's like it's hard for a playmaker to be a playmaker on that in that spectrum. So that's why if that's the case, bring in pressure so they're not thinking. Everybody's rushing the quarterback. And I have another one. I don't get your safety blitz that's coming from the deep out there in the back, like having that safety blitz. It's not gonna get home. So why are you blitzing from like 20 yards away? You're not gonna get home. Like, why are you doing it? Just giving Jalen Hurts time to find somebody else. You're not going to get home. He does that a lot. So I'm just saying, like, Jack Del Rio has been an issue for me of late, because it's just the talent that he's coaching, and they're just cool with just whatever. They're just cool with just being average or ordinary.
Right. It can't be average. It can't be ordinary. This defense needs to have to live up to its potential. And I think I mentioned it earlier, and we talked about it. If they live halfway up to their potential or stop on key situations, this team is 3-1 right now, right? And we can't even talk about last week. You just got a bubble, and the defense couldn't do anything. It is what it is, right? Last week, this one could have went either way. And I'm as a fan, and I think a lot of fans feel this way. They're excited, not the fact that they lost. They're excited at what they have in Sam Howell. Now, it may go week to week with some people.
It's going to be week to week to some people, bro. You already know how they are. It's
week to week with some people.
Terrible.
But if you really watch this game and watch how he bounced back, he was the effective quarterback against a top defense, right?
Yeah.
Against a top defense. He did what he needed to do against a top defense, and he didn't throw too many bad balls. So, hey, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, these folks are gonna be terrible. They're gonna love for Sam Hall today. They're gonna love him this week. They're gonna love him this week.
Up until Thursday.
If he do something bad Thursday, it's man, Caleb Williams, we on the clock. We waiting on Caleb. I do want to preach to some of you Commander fans. Y'all gotta chill, bro. Y'all gotta chill. Some of y'all are saying Emmanuel Forbes is trash. I'm like, bruh. Like, chill. Like,
it's his fourth game.
The world, like, it's not going to end, man. Like, geez. Like, did he get torched? Yeah, that dude got torched. Like, did he get torched? Yeah, he got torched. Like, he got torched.
But I think George said it best, man. It was a grown man versus a young boy.
Facts. That is the truth. He gonna get better from that, man. Like, sometimes, like, I think people forget that, man. And you see what happened with Sam Howell learn from the Bills. Man, failure can teach you just as good as success. You don't want to deal with failure. I get it. But failure can teach you just as good as success.
And some of those plays, can we be honest? And I think, again, as I mentioned earlier, some of those plays he was in key positions to make a play. He just didn't make a play. We could be talking about how Emmanuel Forbes took this game over today. If you look at the ball. if he'd have caught some of those balls, right? If he catches the one that's tipped, that's a pick. The one that it goes up and hits his hands, that's a pick, right? If the one that Jalen Hurts overthrew and he falls on the ground, that's a pick.
Yeah.
So this kid could have essentially had a 4-pick game, and the tone was, but he still got burnt, right? And I didn't even mention the plays he got burnt on. I'm just mentioning other plays, right? Let's be honest. He made a key play in overtime, right? Against AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So he's battling. So they're gonna have some good plays, they're gonna have some bad plays. Just like Sam Howell's gonna have a good day or have a bad day. So if just live and die with Emmanuel Forbes, I think the kid has potential. I think he's gonna learn from this. And it showed me even when he was upset on the sideline arguing, whoever was arguing upset or had a towel over his head, it shows that he cares. Yeah. And then it shows that he cares, and it showed that when he was able to get to overtime, that whatever happened before he had wiped off and still was willing to play football. And he meant in his mind that AJ Brown wasn't going to beat him again, and that's what you want from a dog. You want him to go out and compete. And Emmanuel Forbes competed after he just got torched.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't have an issue with Emmanuel Forbes. I don't really feel bad for young dudes. I mean, I feel bad. Young dudes, I'm not hard on young dudes, especially when I know you got ability. I just feel like, to me, he'll be a better player in year 2. And I think just like Sam Howell will be a better player. He'll be a better player next season. I mean, and he's getting better every week. I think you learn from it, man. You just learn from it. I think EB learns too. He's learning his guys. He's learning his offensive line. He knows, all right, I can't, like, obviously we got to work around this O-line. I got to work around Sam. If Sam Howell holds the ball, I got to work around that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
go work around that. And
you saw 31, man. If you're a Commanders fan, 31. If you had to argue with Eagles fans, they thought like this team couldn't score nothing on them. They scored 31 on them. I'm just telling y'all, 31 against a defense that everybody said is like one of the best defenses in the NFL. On the road. 31 on the road. So just think about that before we go out here and say that the world is over, man. If you had to you looked at the schedule initially and see the way that Washington is playing, the way they're playing, forget they got blown by Buffalo. That sucks. I know that sucks. But to go 2-2 in this portion of the season, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they can compete with the Super Bowl, like the NFC champs, to compete on the road. On the road. Lost in overtime. You're going 4-4. You got the Bears. I think the Falcons after
the Bears, the Falcons, and the Giants coming up.
All right. So you have an opportunity if the way you're playing now, and the Falcons I watched, they fly in the ball. So if folks who think that's a W, be careful. The Falcons, I watched them.
Be careful.
It's on the road. The Falcons fly to the ball. So they got to take those teams. The Bears, I feel like the Bears being home on a short week, that's a game that you got to try to dominate. The Falcons,
they got confidence today.
Yeah, they got confidence. Did they win the game?
I believe they won the game.
Did they win? I know they were up and then they were down.
No, they ended up lost. They
lost. I thought the Broncos won.
Yeah, Broncos came back 31-20, 31-28.
Yeah, thought so. So like they're feeling down right now. But if you watch that game, I will tell fans who were crapping on Justin Fields, he looked good. So be careful.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked good today. Look better today. So be careful. We got the Bears. But these games are winnable though. In the grand scheme of things, we're trying to say these games are very winnable compared to some of the games that we saw in the beginning of the season. These games are winnable. So you got an opportunity if you do your job and you play sound football, you have an opportunity to go 5-2 after this. So if you go 5-2, you're gonna feel good about the team, right?
Right.
So I'm just telling folks
and at 5-2, you play Philly again on the 29th.
Yeah, and you should be confident. You should be confident playing the Philly team because you know that you can play them tough. And you've done that last year on that Monday night game. This year, I'm sure Washington's saying we had this game. We let them off the hook. That's what Washington's saying to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then you have you still got division games, man. So I feel like if you Washington, you feeling good. You shouldn't feel that bad about this game. I mean, no Washington fans, players, you should feel bad. You should feel horrible about this game because you want to win every game. But if you're the fans, you should feel like, you know what, we're close. You should be like, we're close. Anyway, this has been a good show. Bad outcome of the game. You know, I feel bad about it. I was angry. I was into it. Half my friends texting me. They were like, well, you said Jahan going to be like just as good as Terry. And I was like, man, y'all making me mad. Stop texting me about this crap.
No, I told my son Jahan's going to make the touchdown I said here that if he was on the couch, I said, yo, it's about to be Jahan time.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad, man. I'm glad because he needed it. And he deserved it, man. I'm glad he got that touchdown. And if Glenn was here, he would say, we are. You know what I'm saying? That's that. I mean, Glenn, if Lake was here, he would say, we are.
Yeah. Hey, and real quick, the poll we put on Twitter, what grade would you give Sam Howell?
What's the poll? What did it say?
74% gave Sam Howell an A for today.
That's what's up. I thought
21% gave him a B.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gave him a C. And then you got 5% who gave Sam Howell a D.
I think he's in what?
5% of the poll gave Sam Howell a D.
Okay, so Tom, I'm gonna go back to the 5%. I'm not going to harp on the other ones. Now I'm about to go off. See, this is that hating stuff. See, some of y'all need to stop hating. Like for real, some of y'all need to stop hating. I don't know if you voting and you a fan, you ain't a fan. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You ain't a fan. Like you just want to be right. There's a difference. You just want to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like believe me, listen to me. I like Antonio Gibson. I want to be right about Antonio Gibson. I ain't right so far, so I ain't gonna argue the case of me being right. Whatever. I'm gonna say like, you know what? It may be time for Antonio Gibson to be, to not play anymore or get be traded. You know what I'm saying? Like he stepped up. He stepped up to me today, but still, I'm not going to die on that sword. I'm not going to die on that sword. Some of y'all need to stop. Like, stop. All right? Like, really stop. Because he's a young quarterback. Have you seen other young quarterbacks? Like, have you watched some of the dudes, like Stroud's playing good, but have you watched old boy for the Carolina Panthers? Bryce Young. I love Bryce Young, but Bryce Young ain't looking good. Ritter for the Falcons struggles. Like, a lot of these young dudes struggle. Like, dog, you watch Sam Howell play, you're gonna be like, look, Zach Wilson. Then look at Zach Wilson. Sam Howell is fine. Like, chill out. Chill. Your hate is real. I need you to relax on your 5%. You 5% haters. That's what I'm saying. Haters. Sorry, you 100%. You the 5% of y'all 100% haters. I'm kidding, but the 5% of y'all 100% haters.
Yeah,
for real. Stop. Oh, that's just trifling. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That's trifling.
Disrespectful.
George said B. Yeah, that's more. That make more sense. George, that makes sense.
And I even go with C. A high C. I can go high C. I mean, I can take a high C, and people can justify. I'm not gonna argue with anybody said high C.
Yeah, yes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm an Eagles fan, and well, I'm sorry. I'm an Eagles fan. I have to say, your defense and O-line showed up today. Our defense. Thanks, Will. Our defense did not show up though. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think they showed up. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. We said defense O-line. They told defensive line. Yeah, it could have been better. Hey, it could have been better though. I ain't gonna hold you. But the offensive line definitely showed up. I think they were better. They were a lot better.
I think D-line was good today. As you said, it could have been better. I think they got some pressures, some things that probably don't go in the stat sheets. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They allow the secondary. I say this, and I know every time if your secondaries is leading the tackles,
that's a problem.
It's a problem.
That's a serious problem.
Right? If your secondary is leading the tackle, and today the secondary, your top two tackle leaders Cam Curl and Emmanuel Forbes.
Emmanuel Forbes should not be. That's the truth. He shouldn't be.
Emmanuel Forbes shouldn't be your top. Emmanuel Forbes shouldn't be your top two.
Cam Curl is in like the Buffalo nickel, so I know why he's always in tackles because he's like a linebacker now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
My man. Look, George. Look, won't he do it, man? Mac Jones just threw a pick 6 for the Pats. We could be stuck with that. Exactly. Y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill, man, when it comes to Sam Howell hate.
My man down in Carolina, they had a fumble that was returned for.
Bryce Young, I know. Bryce Young is struggling.
Return for 6. In Philadelphia, and Minnesota was struggling.
They were struggling.
Minnesota was struggling.
That won the game basically for them. Y'all need to, be easy. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Be easy. Like, for real. Like, I don't know why you have so much hate in your heart, but I just need y'all to let that thing go.
Let it go.
What did Sam Howell do to you? Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I like this dude, man. He's an Eagles fan. He's giving flowers out.
Let me respect. Hey, yo, you respect that? Game recognized game, right?
Yeah, I like that, man. Appreciate you, homie. I do appreciate you, homie. But yes, no, I'm serious. Like, that's my issue. Like, come on, man. For the haters, though. Other than that, we cool. Yeah. I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? When y'all D, I mean, I ain't vibing to C. Ain't gonna hold you because I just felt like I'm a grade you off of what I saw against Buffalo and what you did against Buffalo, and to bounce back. I know as an athlete, it ain't easy to bounce back when you ain't played good the week before, especially the game you had. Like that was a DF. Like y'all talking about against the Bills, that was a DF for Sam Howell. Y'all can't get that, man. Some of y'all need to go home. I go to sleep. Get on social media too. Like, stop. Like, some of y'all need. It's Sunday. Some of y'all need Jesus. I ain't gonna hold you. Some of y'all need Jesus. All right, we're about to end this show, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the folks for chatting with us. Y'all the real MVPs. Hey, since you chatting with us and you on here, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. And hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel right now. Hit the red subscribe button and like this video. Definitely like this video. If you're on YouTube, like this video though. Respect. Appreciate y'all. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. For Ages, you dig? Deuces. Hey, folks, be out. Appreciate all the listeners, man.